Hello, hello. Welcome back again on this cold, chilly day. Here we are, the 7th day of February.
Oh,
February
wow.
again. Here we are again. It's going way too fast for me. But 2022. Let's go on. Let's get out of here. I'm okay. Let's just slide through 2022.
Yes, please. Or at least through this awful, disgusting weather.
Yes. We got to get out of this cold weather. We are not cold weather people. We are Floridians. We
It's
like it
dreary
hot and humid.
And sunny. We like it
We- it's
sunny mostly.
Yes.
So,
All right. Well, thank you again.
Hi,
Hey,
Karen.
Thanks for joining us on the podcast. Glad you could join Darren. I don't get this is a personal joke.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. So, should we start
All right,
off
well,
this Monday?
Yeah, let's
Like
do
we
it.
do every Monday?
The Monday Market Moment with Kristen and Rebecca.
All right. Here
All right,
we
let's
go.
check out these numbers.
All right, so here's what's happening in North Central Florida real estate. Where should we start first? Susan, what? We're right here. That's rude. No, I'm just joking. We agree. Susan is a phenomenal realtor and does some exceptional marketing, especially in the month of February. So,
Thanks, Cuban dudes.
yes. All right, so let's take a look at, I'm going to start with Ocala. So, all right, so Ocala has 139 active listings. I almost said January, but we're in February.
For 7 days.
I know, for the first 7 days, which is incredible. 189 pending and 81 closed. That's phenomenal, I think.
I think so, too.
People are busy and hustling down there. So good to know, good to know. That's a hot market. Lots of things coming up down there. Lots of construction, too, which I think is great. So let's jump up and look at St. Augustine. They had 34 active. Now their MLS is a little different, like we always discuss, and they actually have, that's their entirety in the MLS that we're searching in, which is called NEFAR, which is the Jacksonville area. But we're searching specifically the St. Augustine Beach portion of St. Augustine, since that's the
From
part that,
Volano down to
Right.
Crescent, but not including the city.
right. We're beach dwellers, so we're
Right.
only interested. Y'all can keep your old historic town part. No, I'm just joking. I enjoy
We
that
love
part
the
too.
historic town part, yes.
Except for the parking, it's awful.
So, yeah, only 5 pended and 2
5
closed.
pended, 2 closed so far for the
Whoa.
month of February.
Only in NEFAR.
Only
Okay.
in NEFAR. That's right. Then I want to go down to Hillsborough because we're just, I'm feeling the beach vibe now. So Tampa Bay area, which they just had their Gasparilla Fest about a week ago. So they're all recovering, and it looks like they're recovering well. They're having some good sales. 145 active homes have hit the market. They had 218 pending and 263 closed so far for the month of February, which I think is pretty good. It's one of the hottest markets in the country. If you're going into real estate and you can't make
Actually,
it there.
it is the hottest market.
I know.
It is the hottest city to move to right now in the country.
There's a lot of great things about Tampa.
There
I'm not
really
gonna
are.
lie.
Yeah.
It's got a rich history, which we have a video coming out very soon about the rich history of Tampa Bay. And I even learned some stuff, and I grew up there. So
There's lots of fun things to do. It's really pretty.
It's-
You've got a lot of great towns that surround it. So, you can run over to
let's
St.
not get
Pete.
carried away. I'm just joking. They do have some nice towns and some nice suburb parts. But what I remember growing up there, and this could have just been my extremely overprotective grandparents, was that it wasn't safe to go anywhere.
Not Ybor City.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was banned from Ybor, but I did sneak down there a few times. Shh, don't tell Karen. And me and my good friend Stacy Brown back in the day. I wonder if she'll comment that she remembers her, and then I'll be in trouble next time I see her. But no. So yeah, Ybor was definitely.
She wants us to
Definitely.
come back to Tampa. You're not in trouble. She just wants
There
you
you
to come
go.
visit.
Well, I'll think about it. That's how she gets me. She deceives me and brings me down there, and then I'm in trouble.
Right.
But now the walkability of Tampa has really changed. What used to be called Channel Side is now Sparkman Wharves, and that is just a phenomenal area. You've got where do we like to go? Armature Works.
Yeah.
Which
Right on the water. It's beautiful.
beautiful.
There's tons of things to do there. There's always an event. There's great shops
There's
or
events
restaurants.
everywhere,
Yeah.
and the food down in Tampa
It's
has
amazing.
really, like, I don't remember it being that way. Tell me if I'm wrong, fellow people who grew up in Tampa, but I don't remember it being as cool as it is today. So either I'm getting older, and I will say I am getting older because I do stop and read plaques
something
now.
has happened to Tampa and the surrounding little areas like St. Pete that has really made
St. Pete has always been cool, other than the fact that it was a retirement kind of community.
Well, now it's even cooler these days. It's like the hipster place. But I think Tampa, especially this Tampa Bay area, is becoming like super hippie or hipster, I should say.
Hipster, yeah.
And, people are wanting to move there. You've got the water. You've got a lot of great things to do. There's a plethora of jobs. And then if you can work from where if you can move over there and not and still work in your other state, you can still move there. And I think it's it's more affordable than Miami, although it's becoming less affordable. It's not Mickey Mouse Club, like Orlando. Jacksonville hasn't really hit stride like Tampa has.
Is busy, but it's very different.
It's still on the water. You have Jack's Beach, you have an area on the water, but there's just something about that Central Florida attitude that Tampa has. Plus, it's got great Cuban food.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, my personal opinion is, and I know there's not I know people think East Coasters, and you're thinking
West Coast
Northerners.
Is so beautiful. I think if you're a surfer, you want East Coast.
It's true.
But if you want placid, beautiful beaches that you can see the bottom and just incredible, you don't have to be you can be young and old and walk in the beach and it's not shoving you over with the waves.
And we're active over there. Don't get us wrong. But I just think that West Coast Florida versus East Coast Florida,
the sunsets are incredible.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sunrise is beautiful, but sunset is better because it's more socially appropriate to have a cocktail at sunset than it is to have a cocktail at sunrise.
Now, Susan's saying Jacksonville's market is hot. It is hot, but compared to what Tampa's doing in the news right now and how many people are moving there and the market there, it's just not the same. But it is a very hot market as well.
Everywhere's hot. We're Florida. Why wouldn't you want to live here?
And I think we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that today. So let's get through these numbers. Gainesville's,
So Gainesville. Everybody wants to talk about Gainesville. All right. So
that's where we are.
I'm doing it in reverse. Gainesville 63 closed so far for the month of February.
36 closed.
36. How many did I say?
You said 63.
Well, I was wishfully thinking, I guess. Since I started it backwards, I reversed the numbers.
You did.
And I do want to congratulate the Rebellion. They've had some of those 36, so yay, Rebellion. 74 pended and 69 active so far for the month of February.
Now, again, it's 7 days. So, no, we're not Ocala. And this is really, Ocala, Marion County, and Gainesville, Alachua County, Tampa, only the Hillsborough portion. But Ocala is, that Marion County area is really large. And obviously Tampa's more. So Gainesville's numbers seem small in comparison, but it's also, our town is a little smaller. Our city's a little smaller.
Right. Our area is smaller. But I am really enjoying watching Ocala grow. I'm not going to lie. I know y'all down in Ocala, a lot of you all are not excited about that. I know there is a segment of the population that's excited to see restaurants. And
I think there's enough people who are happy to see this grow.
I'm pandering to the side that's not.
And I think the growth and going into what's happening with the state of Florida. Actually. So, we can go on to the next topic through this, is that one of the big topics that I've been talking about a lot lately is that Texas, I think, is the highest, fastest, growing state, people moving in, but Florida's not far behind. And they don't have statistics for right now, but from, I think it was July 2020 to July 2021, we added 231,000 new residents to Florida. And I think a lot of them are coming in and they're wanting to live on land or near land. And I think Ocala, having that, centrally located area with lots of land, there's the horse farms are great. WEC is wonderful. You've got golfing, you've got everything, and you're close to both coasts. So I think that's what brings people there.
Question.
Yes.
If you couldn't live in Florida, which state would you live in? You can comment below if you have an opinion.
I don't know.
Or if you have an opinion on where Kristen or Rebecca should live if they couldn't live in Florida.
North Carolina, South Carolina, or even, I don't know, I'd stay in the South.
Good job, Sarah Chambers, on your first closing. Okay.
Thanks, Jamie.
I have no doubt you'd stay in the South.
I'd stay in the South. I like the South. I love that you can still be on the coast, in those states, but also the mountains. So you have a little bit of both. But I don't know, I haven't really been out to the northwestern states, and I hear they're gorgeous out there. So I really,
Gorgeous to visit. Don't you go
like
live
Utah
in there.
or something, but I really have to be near the water.
100%.
But I am not a California girl. I am so sorry. I'm just not. I like to visit, but I don't want to live there. So, southeast coast probably for me. The southern states. So one of those,
I agree.
And North Carolina, I love North Carolina. It's so beautiful. And you've got, with the Carolinas, you've got the water, but you also have the mountains. So somewhere in there probably. Although I love Nashville.
Jamie, I'm going with you.
All right. Yeah.
Because you have the beaches. Arizona. Arizona is pretty.
Arizona's pretty cool. Thanks for answering, girls. I like
know.
it.
Colorado. Bye, Susan. We'll see you next year.
You do not want to be in Colorado. It's too cold, but we want to visit. Look, can we finally go to Colorado, please?
It's really cold there. I don't know if you know that. It's super cold. I don't like that.
I mean, Texas sounds good because, they're a state that I agree with a lot of things on, but I don't think it's close enough to the water, and it's a lot drier. So that's why, I still have to stay over in the humid areas. But, Tennessee's one without the water that I would move to, I know, that I would probably move to. Yep, there you go. Carolina's Karen.
Bye, Karen. I'll see you next time.
Karen and I will be in the Carolinas together.
There you go. I'm leaning
okay
towards Texas, but I don't know. I'm like, Louisiana's supposed to be very nice. What?
Yes,
Colorado.
come with us. Oh my gosh, we have to make a Colorado visit.
Should do a Colorado
Yeah,
visit.
but I want to go when we can go skiing, girls.
That's
please.
fine. I'll go when it's cold if I have to.
All the guys get the skiing trips, but the girls don't. It's kind of annoying.
New trend.
New trend.
I'm kind of excited
All right,
about
so
what I see.
really what we were talking about was the growth of Florida and the people moving here and the reasons why and where they're moving from. So let's just show this next slide because it's actually an image from TikTok. And yes, it's Coral Gables, Florida, which, is near the water. It's down south. This is what a $1.5 million home in Coral Gables looks like. The line keeps getting longer and longer. And if you watch this TikTok video, the line is I want to say a couple hundred people deep.
Oh, yeah.
And then they ended up getting 35 offers. And this was just this weekend, I assume.
Yeah, I checked the date.
Yeah, it was something, it was really recent. So this is what's happening. Yeah, I don't love Vegas. My sister lives
I've never
there.
been, so I don't know.
My sister lives there. It is too hot. The dog can't even walk during on the ground outside without socks on because they'll burn their pads.
I'm not made
That
for
is how
out
hot
west.
it is there.
Yeah, I don't like
so and it's too dry. It's fun to visit though. But yeah, this is what's happening in Florida. People are moving here, and there's lots of comments that we're talking about, or lots of discussions we're talking about people moving in. And one thing that I think of is, they're coming in because they can still live in, say, Colorado or the Carolinas, but move to Florida to our weather, our beautiful weather, and be near the beaches and not have to be stuck inland in some Midwest city or, state and come here and still work there. But is that going to last? I just wonder. It's just a question. Do you all think that's going to last? Do you have an opinion on that? Are they going to be able to move away and live, here but work there? And I don't know. Yes, you do need
You probably need a sack of cash to even consider
view.
that house.
This is a lot of discussions all in one, but we're seeing where you're showing houses and you have to show not just your proof of funds, but you have to make an offer to show. To see it, and it's getting crazy. It's really wild out there. But Jackie's not on here, but she was talking about this morning how it's not Better Homes and Gardens, but it's Better Homes Mortgage. The CEO just, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, he was noticing that all of these people were, they were working from home and they were on vacations and they were leaving. They really weren't working. And so he woke up one day and fired, I think she said 900 of them.
Which was only 11, or was it 1 or 11% of the workforce? I can't remember.
Right, a very small percentage of the workforce. But as business owners, I kind of see that. When we let them work from home, they just didn't work as much. So I wonder how long that is going to last, because that is what a lot of people are talking about. They're coming to Florida because of our weather and other reasons, political other reasons, but really our weather. And are they going to be able to sustain their jobs where they work from another state and live here as well. So we'll see how that goes. That's just a little like thought I've had lately. I find interesting because that's what they're saying they're moving to Florida for. But I mean, it's a great state. We love our state. I love our state.
I love our state too.
I don't really want to leave our state, so I tried to back in the day.
I will leave our state if pythons get up to Gainesville area.
They already are.
Stop
oh my
it.
gosh. We were at you always go to parks. We were at a brand new park. Susan, if you remember what it was, but it's downtown, like near 13th Street. Not downtown. It's near 13th Street, and there's this really great little park, and we were walking, and you can like walk and take a trail. Okay, so Jamie's coming on here. I thought it was Susan. I think based off of what we've been talking about in school, that more people will continue to work from home and travel to go into work once every other week. So are they working? That's the thing. And then our office has been very productive working from home, but we're finding training new employees remotely is difficult.
I agree.
So I think along with that, they're going to, there's going to be issues with that. And is that going to last? Are we going to see that lasting?
What I miss, though, is that the spirit of collaboration.
And the culture.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree.
I think the culture goes away.
So where did you see this python?
Okay. No, we didn't see a python, but you're taking a hike after like the kids get to play. You take this little hike and this picture comes up. It's like, in Tioga, how you're
you've got the Black Indigo plaques.
Right. The plaques are, and it's a plaque of the python and the Cuban frog, and they're talking about invasive species. But I'm like, but we're in Gainesville.
So
the Cuban frogs are big, but where are these pythons? Because
frogs
I'm
don't bother
terrified.
me. I'm a little scared of frogs because they jump unexpectedly. But
yeah, I'm not terrified of that. I'm just saying, are we seeing pythons here already? If that's what's coming up on the plaques in the
my new side hustle will be hunting and destroying.
I mean,
pythons.
I was looking for one. Yeah, mine too.
I'll be on the show on Discovery Channel. What is it, like Python Hunters? I'll be like, we'll get all these. We'll get over our fear of snakes.
We talk
by
about
bagging
snakes
them.
like every single time.
Because they're a big deal to us. I need to know what kind of snakes they have in Texas.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break and we'll come back. Hello, welcome to Rabell Realty Group. We're located here in Southwest Gainesville in the cutest corner in Hale. I'm Kristen Rabell, broker owner. We're a residential real estate brokerage helping buyers and sellers with all of their real estate needs. We'd love to invite you in to tell you more about what we can offer you.
We also help people get into the wonderful world of real estate by offering training 5 days a week. We also serve Ocala, St. Augustine, and the Tampa Bay area.
And our YouTube channel is here to help you learn more about the real estate industry, market, and your community.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Hello.
Hello. I'm finishing with text.
We
I'm
will
really sorry.
stop our snake talk. If you know what it takes to get licensed in Texas and the types of snakes they have, please drop below so I can start working on that. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, if I see pythons moving up into Gainesville as a regular occurrence, I will have to be moving. I'm sorry.
I agree. Although there's a ton of other bad snakes over there, so I don't really know.
Basically, what you're telling me is we're not safe and the reptiles will be getting us.
Not in Texas. All right. Some are getting jobs here. They can't find a rental or home to buy.
True.
Yeah, it's true.
We see that every day.
We actually have another one that we could pull up. But right now, let's talk about something a little different. We'll go on to home improvements. And I title it, Do They Add Value? So I think right now in this market where, even Karen just said, and she's down in Tampa area, that, you can't find anything to rent or to buy right now. It's really hard. There's a lot of competition. There's less inventory. But I do think this kind of changes adding value.
Yes.
So this is sort of like a current market, do they add value kind of role, and our opinions on that, whether it's in this market or not. So a pool. It's considered that it does not actually add value. When you work with an appraiser, they do not actually give a lot of value. Now, some appraisers do. We know one in particular. Yes. But for the most part, when you have like a comp system that is, I don't know, like a real estate CMA packet that they show you and all the numbers, the pool is really low. Now, I'm going to tell you, quite a few years ago, I actually did major research and I looked to see what houses were selling with a pool versus without a pool in their same area. And I found some really interesting finds. So this is based off my research. I want to say 5 to 7 years ago. And it was in older homes. So in terms of Gainesville, like 16th Avenue, right? You're going to find large homes, old homes. It was actually reducing the price,
I remember
the value.
why you did this research now.
Yes.
I'm thinking about the house.
Yes, you're remembering this, right? So it reduced the value. And one huge reason that I came up with is because the homes are older and the pools are older. So when you had an older pool, a lot of people did not want to purchase that home because the pool maintenance and upkeep and repair was thousands of dollars. Like to re-marcite or refinish a pool, it was about 5 to 10 depending on how large the pool is. Now, of course, that cost has become more expensive with supplies and with, just inflation and everything. So $10,000 to replace and fix the pool, and then, heating the pool if you wanted to, keeping the pool clean, all of that is very costly. And when you have an older pool, the repairs are even more tremendous, right? But I looked into the neighborhoods, and I would say probably like Southwest Gainesville has a lot of these higher end neighborhoods. If you did not have a pool and you were expected to, because every house in the neighborhood had a pool, your house was undervalued. So I think it's all based on where you are. Now, again, we're also in Florida, and I think having a pool is a luxury in Florida if you want to deal with that maintenance, right? So you own a house that has a pool. I own a house that has a pool. I grew up in a house that had a pool.
I did. My grandparents had a pool for me.
So I think once your kids get a little older and you don't use that pool, you probably think, I don't really care about this pool anymore. But when you have kids and your other kids come over, your kids can play in the pool, I think it totally adds value. What I'm also going to say right now is that with the lack of houses out there, there's even less pool homes. And if a person wants a pool, they want a pool. Yes, you can put in a pool, but you're putting in the pools, and you at least have to have the land for it and the ability to put it in. So I think a lot of people, if they want a pool, they prefer to have a house with a pool or the ability to build one on there. Any thoughts on that?
Yes, I'm going to say for most of my real estate career, it was a 50-50 split. People either really wanted a pool home or they really hated pool homes.
Yep.
And then COVID happened and everything was shut down.
And everybody wanted a pool.
Really wanted a pool because you couldn't go to public pools. Your club and pool house combo that you're paying for in your HOA was closed. Beaches were closed.
Yeah.
Springs were closed.
So
everything
having a
was
pool,
closed.
having a yard, having all these extras became valuable. So
Right.
yes, we
I
do
agree.
believe right now, and people are still, they're not going back to those tiny homes yet. They're going out to homes with all of these amenities in their own home. So we think regardless of if it adds value or not, right now it's adding
Pools
value.
are values. Thumbs up for pools.
All right, cool. Now solar panels.
I can only speak to the Gainesville market for this one. My opinion is if you have solar panels and you're in the Gainesville area on the GRU grid, that is an upgrade because we have the highest utilities in the state and they continue to climb.
So I have a couple of other opinions about that. Now, remember, Alex Black was on here from Enlight Energy talking about solar panels. He's a friend of mine. We talk a lot. I was on a podcast of his actually and talking about how the appraisers do not use them for value because traditionally they don't supposedly add value. Okay. But as you're saying, this is happening to us in Gainesville, and people are putting on solar panels in droves, like all the time. So now he's had appraisers call him and ask how they can finally add value to a home because so many people have them now that they're able to give them value. And again, that might just be a Gainesville thing or maybe even a Florida thing.
If you're in the Tampa, Ocala, or St. Augustine or any other market, tell us what's
Would
happening
love
in yours.
to know if it's happening there.
In
'Cause
ours,
it's
you can
happening
get
here.
Yeah.
And they're calling these energy, these companies that put on solar panels to find out how to add value because they are seeing a value in them. Now, there's another thing. If you have an old solar panel system, kind of like that old pool, and it needs to be replaced or your roof needs to be replaced, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? So some people, I tried to sell a house 2 or 3 years ago and they did not want it because it was an older solar panel and they have a system on it that every 10 years needs to be replaced and it's not very cheap. But I think that's sort of maintenance of anything. You know,
Owning a home is
your
expensive.
home, your car, your roof, your HVAC, anything like that. But solar panels are now making a comeback, or at least not even
In the
making a
Gainesville
comeback,
area.
coming on as adding value. So, but it does have to be a new system, and it does have to be hooked up to where you're saving money. I mean, if your bill is $20 for your electricity
Versus
because
the
of
typical
these
Gainesville
solar
bill
panels,
that is between $400 to $700 a month.
that's going to be a huge benefit. All right, some insurance companies. See, we need you on here, Carrie. Thank you. Some insurance companies won't insure a house if the panels are being used for net metering, and most won't cover them for wind damage. Well, we're going to need you back on here to tell us all about
Tell
this,
us the
because
Monday dates you're available to
these
come
are
on and
the
talk about
important
it.
things that we as realtors and home buyers and homeowners need to know. That's very interesting, and I'd love to have you and Alex on at the same time, actually.
Ooh, I like it.
That would be kind of cool. All right, so the next one we have on here is roofs. So every house needs a roof, right? So it's never added value. But Carrie, you were on here and talking about the huge roof issue. And right now I think houses are selling despite that. So this is like a 50-50 for me.
I would say back in the day, not as much. They helped your home some more quickly, but I would say now they do add some value because the insurance changes. So we're actually going to toss that back to Carrie, and she can come back on and talk to us about that.
Right.
We didn't know Carrie was going to.
I mean, here's the thing: you can't really sell a house without a new roof unless you are somehow renegotiating. I mean, people are putting offers on for full value or higher than list price, and then it's coming back to a cancellation, or they have to pay cash in order to buy it. Now, granted, John Roscoe was in our office the other day and said on one of the Mondays they had 11 closings and 70% were cash buyers. So it's happening, but insurance is a lot harder to get with an older roof. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's way more expensive. So I think having a new roof does add some value, but an appraiser's not going to look at it like that. So now we're going to get into some more fun ones. Shiplap, that top picture.
I don't think it.
Joanna Gaines made it really popular, and a lot of people are doing it. There's some builders that really, hyped in on that, but I don't think it does any value. The appraiser's not going to look at it. You might sell your house faster, but that
you do for your own enjoyment.
You do it for your own enjoyment, and that style is going to be soon outdated.
Can I,
if not already?
Out?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'll give my hand in there. Can I point out? It's just paneling from the 70s turned the other direction. I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
And white.
And it's white.
Yep. It's true. That's really funny,
what I think about every time I see it is it's literally paneling from the 70s turned the other direction and painted white, which I remember when people were super agitated when people would paint paneling white and be like,
and
you
here
just
we are.
painted it.
We're painting it white.
Yes.
I mean, it's this like chic farmhouse, cute look that, does really well in some spaces, looks kind of stupid in others, but it's becoming...
You do you. You do it because you like it, not because you're trying to get the upgrade.
Right, exactly. So that's definitely not going to. What do you think about fireplaces?
If it's gas, I think it's a bonus. If it's wood, I think it's a pain in the neck, personally.
But here's the
person
thing.
that's had both.
Insurance, yeah, we know that. That's your good news for today. Insurance doesn't right. Now, with fireplaces, though, there is actually a value given on an appraisal. So it is technically valued, but it's only about $2,500, and I don't think it stops people from buying, and I don't think people. There are some people who want to buy a house with a fireplace. It's just really funny.
We agree, Jamie.
Yeah, it's just really funny that when they really want one and you're in Gainesville or Florida.
We used ours all the time, so I do like it. Not the wood burning; it's too much.
But I do think that is actually adds value because there's actually a number amount that the appraiser can put on there for having a fireplace. So adds value. Gonna have to get a thumbs up, even if you don't like it.
There we go.
All right, smart house.
So I think it depends on the type of smart house. I think old-fashioned wiring for alarms is out because people prefer digital, wireless.
Now, right?
They can take it with them. So I would say certain aspects. I'm doing a this.
I am too, and I'll say why.
It can be an upgrade or a downgrade depending on what you're doing.
One thing is that if you have one app for everything, that's really nice. But if you have to have an separate app for everything, that's a lot harder. I mean, it's not hard. It's just you have to have a ton of apps, and you know how I feel about apps. I freaking hate them. But, because everything requires an app now. There are some programs that you can turn on your lights with the same app you can open your garage with. That's really great, but you have to be able to provide that to the next buyer. And then you have to sign yourself out. They have to sign themselves in. Some people, I mean, I know that when we bought our house, there were a lot of smart features, but I still can't get on my garage door, so I can't use it. And then also our lights that they updated, they're supposed to be these like special lights that, they turn on when you walk in the room, and they save electricity for you, but they don't turn off until like 15 minutes later. So it's not really smart. I think it wastes more of my electricity or my utilities. So yeah, I'm going to give it like this. Also, the appraisers aren't really using it for appraisal value either. So that's why it's kind of a halfsies, but people are interested in smart houses. So, but you can update them yourself. It's not that expensive.
So the next one I have strong opinions on. Oh, whoops, sorry. It was on the last page. Yeah. Sorry. I know. We're moving slow. We're running out of time.
Probably going to skip the last one.
Built-ins, I would say that depends on the type of built-in and how the person's going to use the space that moves in after you. Mm-hmm. If you're doing a TV, I think it's really hard because TVs are constantly changing the shapes,
those
the
old
sizes.
1990s TVs.
Yes, that's exactly what I was envisioning.
Actually, one of our past buyers wrote me yesterday or the day before, and she's like, "Can I tear this out? It's so old."
Do.
And she has that, and I was like, "Yes, it's horrible." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I love you."
Do they live in Cobblefield?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured because that's where we see them the most. Right. Cobblefield, Cambridge Forest, and Turnberry Lake.
Now, I was showing a house in Belmont, and it had really a lack of closets for some reason, and areas where you could have storage. And they did all of these different style, all of this built-ins everywhere, and it made it such a better house because it was kind of small. All the rooms were a little small, but you could store in all of these different compartments. So again, it kind of depends on the next person. No appraiser is going to give value to it, though.
Right.
And they can get expensive because you do need, a good woodworker to do this. So
I'm going to use. So I did a library over an archway,
really cute,
in a dining room that we used as a playroom, and I'm going to say it cost about $5,000. I don't think I got the value back out of it, but we certainly loved it and enjoyed it. And
so again, all about your enjoyment, what you want to do with it. Same with the shiplap. It's not going to add value, but I do definitely think it's going to,
yes, that house was scary, Jamie.
Bring a lot more buyers who are interested. I don't think it's going to sway buyers away. I think it's going to add buyers. So I think all four of these will add buyers, regardless if or not, if they actually, the appraiser adds value to them. Really, the only one on here that adds value, truthfully, is the fireplace. Everything else is for your enjoyment and the next buyer's, enjoyment as well. So, well, we won't go over the last one.
We'll do a part two.
Yeah, this is fun.
Join us next week, and we'll do a part two so that we can get to the conclusion of your 30 minutes of Kristen and Rebecca's undivided attention.
Thank you, everybody, for being on here, too.
Yes. If you have an investment property that you are tired of dealing with, the tenants showing up at your house at all hours of the night complaining and wanting things, you can hire us and they can show up at our office and talk to us about their issues. And we will be your leasing agent, your accountant, your repairman, your inspector, and your overall
everything.
You're everything.
You won't need anyone else but
and
us.
All you have to do is log in, look at your reports, and watch that money hit your bank account, and we'll take care of the rest. And you can reach us at 352-213-6410.
All right. And if you're looking to get into real estate or change where you're working or joining a team, maybe you need some leads, you need some guidance, you need help on marketing in this crazy market right now, or you just want a really great friend, real estate's really lonely, and we love to bring you in and teach you and train you and help you in this market. So you can join our team. We actually have our number on here now. So call 352-559-8820 or use join@buysellorbell.com.
And are you looking to connect with us or you can't get enough of us? You can find us on, look at that, it's a complete list.
I love it.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Google+.
Look at that.
Don't forget to
great.
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe our YouTube page, Rabell Podcasts. It's one way to get to it. And did you know we have a blog and a whole new slide for it?
It looks so fancy.
I love it. You can find us at buysellrebell.com. It's actually also /blog still hard to say also. But we have lots of great articles and information, marketing tips, everything you can think of.
And we would like to thank the Fiesta Media for putting on this podcast and all of our other podcasts. You can contact them and have your own podcast. And if you're nervous and want to test it out, you can call us and come on. Otherwise, reach out to them at 352-327-5089. Although I'm sure they would line you up to be on ours too.
We don't mind that. And thank you for joining us today. Please join us next Monday at 2 p.m. We're here every Monday, 2 p.m. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Now we need to update that one.